Hi, I'm Glenda Meyer with Man Mortgage, and I am here with Chris West from Keller Williams. She is a terrific agent. I've worked with her for a really long time, and all her escrows go flawlessly. She is just the best agent out there for sure.
Thanks, Glenda. I don't know about flawlessly because there are always things that do come up.
She definitely does her job. I love working with you.
Thanks. I love working with you too.
Oh, okay. So today we're talking about move-on buyers. So somebody who is selling their property, selling their home, and then buying another home. Mm-hmm. And we've done several of those. In fact, we just closed one in the last month or so, and it went off without a hitch. So, Chris, let's talk about that a little bit. When somebody is looking to sell their home and buy another home, what are you doing with them during the listing phase to make sure that the sales part of their property goes well?
Right. There's several things that we can do. Of course, it is the challenging part is having the concurrent close with the sale and the purchase. Yeah. Exactly. And the fact is that most people do need the money from their primary home before moving on. I mean, I know that I certainly would. So that really is the challenge, but there are definitely things we can put in place to protect the seller, and that's really my most important responsibility, is to protect the seller so that they're not left homeless. And we can certainly do that.
Right, and that's easy. And that's just putting some clauses in place and just letting any buyer know when they're coming in that the sellers may need a little bit more time to find the property that they really love.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
correct.
perfect. And then on the buy side of it, a lot of people, and I think there's a lot of talk out there about contingent offers cannot get accepted because right now the market's so hot and contingent offers kind of get put by the wayside, but I don't see that at all when it's done properly.
Correct.
So how do you deal with a contingent offer being presented against other offers that maybe aren't contingent?
Well, really, when you really think about it, any offer really is contingent in different ways, and contingent on the condition of the property, on the loan, on the appraisal. So we have contingencies in place in any offer.
Good point.
So we and I do a lot of listings, so I kind of take a look at that as well. And I think the most important thing is just writing a strong offer and knowing how to write it, the verbiage. And to protect my buyers.
Absolutely.
Seller/buyer.
Right. And then that way, if there are other offers, the fact that there's a contingent escrow, if maybe we don't even have the loan contingency because they're already fully underwritten by lenders such as myself, but that's another, they're basically a cash buyer and they're going to have a huge down payment.
Right.
So that gives a big advantage over somebody that's coming in, let's say, with down payment assistance or something like that. So it's just a matter of the timing and the coordination.
Absolutely. And I know this is another video as far as the financing part of it, but if you've got a good lender who has your buyers completely pre-qualified and underwritten, then you're really good to go.
That's huge.
It makes it a very strong offer.
For sure. Mm-hmm. And then the last question is, because concurrent closings can be tricky, where you want both to close on the same day. And I know we just closed one where the seller closed on their sale, I think, on a Tuesday, and they were able to close on their purchase on a Wednesday.
Yes.
So it was really only one day, even with a VA offer, which is almost unheard of. So that worked out. But what was the success of having that come together?
Right. So what we did on that one, we actually had a rent back, which really works out really well because that way the seller has time to pack up, get things moved. Before moving on. So a lot of times that is
a rent back will help.
A good tool.
And I know too with concurrent closing, if you have the escrow and title in the same place, then you're just really moving money from one account to another. Where if you have escrow and title in a different place, that money has to go overnight somewhere else. So that can be really difficult.
Yes, and that is a perfect situation. A perfect world would to have the escrow and the title company be the same. And many times we can't request that and make that happen. Sometimes you can't, but there's definitely ways of working around it. Just
Agreed. And most agents don't even think that far ahead where, gee, I really want this to work out at, the end result and have it be a good thing for your client. So I know you, and I know you do a lot of listings as well. So a lot of those listings then turn into buyers. So
exactly.
Yeah. So Chris, if somebody's interested in getting more information about how you do this and possibly looking at listing their home and buying something else, how would they get a hold of you?
Oh, sure. They can call me. My cell phone, my direct number is 760-419-3003. And call me, leave me a message if I'm not available, and I'll get back to you quickly, and we can discuss.
See what's
any questions.
That's awesome. Well, Chris, thank you very much for your time. Told you it'd be
easy. Well, not super easy, but yeah.
All right. Thank you, Chris.
Bye.
Bye. Come on.